Hello, magnificent human beings. My name is Landon with Yoga New Mexico, where we focus on empowerment, alignment, and strength. You are in the right place, capable and strong. So, what is our Wednesday yogacation? Yes, Wednesday Edu Yogacation. Going to be about? It is eagle pose. That's the theme of the week. So right now we have roughly a 10-minute episode all about eagle pose. So just gonna show you some cool tricks on how to help get you into this, things that you might be worried about that you probably don't need to worry about, and maybe some other things you have not thought about. So it's gonna be a radical edutainment piece happening right. Meow, roll out your mat, and I will roll the intro screen. Thank you for being here. So let's just start this off by calling out the elephant in the room, which I think is how weird and pretzel-y kind of eagle pose looks. So if you are very flexible and you can wrap your arms and you can wrap your legs, you can get your foot all the way behind your calf and you can sink way down, then cool, you do you. But let's talk about the wrap and everything for a second. For us folks who find that a lot more challenging. Now, I can barely wrap my foot around my calf. I can do it kind of on one side, and then the other side is, almost there. It's happening. So I'm in the middle of this journey myself, is all I'm saying. But there are way more important things to focus on in eagle rather than wrapping and bringing your hands to touch and bringing your foot around your calf. I think sometimes we think that, as soon as my foot wraps around my calf and I feel that connection, that all of a sudden, my chakras open up and I align and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that doesn't happen. I'm just going to let you know. No matter where you are in your journey in a posture, if you're on the not so flexible side or the super flexible side, we all still have a journey to take, right? You can always come deeper, you can always do more, you can always do better. It doesn't matter what your pose looks like. In comparison to other people, obviously you should have good alignment, but what I'm saying is don't worry about whether you think it looks good or not. Think about the feeling. You want those little subtle feelings to permeate your body that really help you get into the posture. So while I'm just sitting here, let's talk about the arms, first of all. So flail arms. Now, if you cannot get your arms to wrap, again, don't worry about it. But here are some things that I have found which help people to actually wrap their arms. The first way I typically tell people to wrap your arms is, so both hands up overhead. So if you're sitting there in your office desk or wherever you are, yes, raise your hands up. It's going to be weird, I know. Somebody's going to come by and give you a high five, but it's cool. All right, so take your left elbow and bring it in towards your sternum. Now, don't bring it out and then in like this. You want it way up here and then spin that hand in and boom, bring it in, really. Torque is a bad word because I think that invites injury, but you want to have some strength when you pull this arm in, right? So that way it really sets it down in towards your midline here. Then your right elbow comes on top of your left and bring those palms around to touch. Now if you get a pinky, cool. If you just grab for those opposite shoulders because that's what you've been doing, cool. If you just do this, it's fine. Wherever you are is totally cool. So now that is one of the best ways I've found to really kind of set into your eagle as best as you can. So looking at it from the opposite side, again, right elbow, boom, in towards your midline, nice and strong. Left on top of right, bring those palms around to touch. So that's one way. Another way is this kind of windmilly, swoopy thing. So if your right is going to go under your left, it's kind of like you bear hug almost, like you're going for a bear hug, like, hey, come here, just kidding, psych, eagle wrap. And if it gets you to wrap your arms, that's cool, but I kind of really like the other way better because you focus on the strength of pulling in that arm and you feel, each part of the process as you do this rather than almost cheating and using momentum to bring your hands in. So that's my opinion, is just play with it. Just see whichever one you like best. Now, I will say this, once you do get into your eagle wrap, wherever you are, okay, your shoulders, don't hunch them forward. So you're in your eagle wrap, and like I said, don't hunch your shoulders forward. You want to find this nifty balance in between, whether they're not like out and you don't kind of just like rest your elbows here in. You want them lifted just gently. And as you breathe, this is the best thing I can say, is as you breathe, you want to be able to feel some space. Because if your elbows are like suffocating you, you're probably not doing it the best way. And again, it's a journey, right? I can't tell you how it should exactly feel in your body because there's a lot of going on in eagle. So just how does it feel to you, right? Like try to lift up those elbows a tiny bit so you create some space, but don't lift them up so much that you're hurting your shoulders. It's kind of find that balance there. Okay, let's assume you've got the wrap down. I like to start in eagle by bringing my feet together. And the general rule of thumb in the yoga world is whatever elbow is on bottom, the same knee is going to come over. So if your right elbow is on bottom, then your right knee comes over. Now, I know right away there's going to be somebody in the comments like, oh no, I learned it the other way. And you know what? This is the way I learned it. So I'm just passing on what my teacher taught me and their teacher taught them. So here we go. And again, it probably doesn't really matter a whole lot, so don't worry about it. Okay. Right knee over. Because why? My right elbow is on bottom. So a common mistake we make in eagle is to like hinge forward really far and then bring this over and then try to come back up. So I like to kind of invite a lot more awareness into the process of this pose as you're going through everything. So if you're wrapped, imagine that you have, like you're sliding down a wall, right? Like nice flat back, you're not too far back, you're not hunched forward, but you're sliding down a wall, so you just bend your knees. Bend your knees, bend your knees, bend your knees. And then when the temptation of your heels start to lift off, then bring that right knee over your left. Okay, very good. And if you just kickstand here, that's perfectly fine. And this is your eagle pose. Again, refrain from like hunching forward. There are variations, I will say, called sleeping eagle, where you do all this, but we're not getting into that. We're just talking about our straight eagle pose. So if you're here, the best way I can tell you to be able to start to get that wrap around is to engage those inner thighs. So engaging those inner thighs is actually going to help create some space so you can swing that foot around even farther. Switching sides here. Okay, so left elbow is on bottom, left knee is up. And then squeeze those inner thighs, and then going for the wrap. Now, as you squeeze those inner thighs, you're going to be able to sink down just a little bit more, and you can wrap that foot around. Please, please do your best to keep your hips square with the front. Now, lots of times we'll kind of sacrifice things, right? And we'll have this wrap, but we'll do this. So my foot's pointed this way, but my hips and everything else are pointed this way. So just keep in mind where your hips are on the mat, trying to keep them as square and as straight as you can. So that is our eagle pose. Questions, comments, anything you want to have a discussion about this, feel free to go ahead and put some info in the boxes below. Tappity tap or typity type on your cell phone. I guess it'd be type and tap, but you know. Anyways, have an awesome rest of your day. Feel free to share this video with a friend. The leg portion of this, you know, can be difficult to get into. So all I can say is practice, 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 practice. The arm thing, if you maybe have a friend who does have trouble wrapping their arms, send them this video and say, hey, maybe try this, you know? And again, every posture is about really having that body awareness of exactly what you're doing, what muscles you're engaging, what muscles you're not, and then not worrying about how it looks, but allowing the feeling of where you are in the moment of the posture to bring you deeper into your practice. And with that, you are all magnificent human beings. You are in the right place, capable and strong. From my heart to all of yours, namaste.